Hey guys, it's me, Kajaya, and I'm here with another exciting astrology profile video. This video, me and Josie will be doing this chart of Penny Astrology, who I have had a lot of conversations with, who I've had some, personal conversations. I think she's great. And, I'm doing this series highlighting people in the astro community that I look up to and that everyone else learns from. I got Josie here with me again. Say what's up.
Hi.
All right, so are you ready to get into this chart?
Ready.
All right, so Penny was born in Dallas, Texas, August 11th, 1992 at 8:31 a.m. She has her sun in Leo, Mercury in Leo retrograde, Venus in Virgo, Jupiter in Virgo, Pluto in Scorpio, Uranus, Neptune in Capricorn, also a moon in Capricorn, Saturn in Aquarius, and Mars in Gemini in the 10th house. All right, so I like to let my guests kick it off. So Josie, go ahead and, well, of course I want to say I don't have a certain particular chart reading style that I follow. I just picked out some interesting things about her chart that I like and wanted to talk about. So Josie, I'm going to let you kick this off. Go ahead.
So the beginning of the chart starts at 9 degrees Virgo Rising. And what's interesting here is it's conjunct both Jupiter in Virgo and is it Venus that's also conjunct the ascendant?
Yes.
And I think that's awesome because it kind of balances out the Virgo Rising thing. Virgo Rising is known for being very organized, very practical, very down to earth, maybe a little bit critical of the surroundings, but then having the two most benefic planets, Jupiter and Venus, right on the ascendant totally makes up for all of those qualities. So that's a really awesome ascendant.
Right. I also wanted to talk about her Virgo rising. Virgo is all about service and routine and in the house of self. So I feel like she strongly identifies herself by what she does. She has a strong desire to be productive in everything that she does. But for her mind to be at ease with her life, she needs an element of predictability to it. Because Virgo is all about planning ahead. She sort of likes to, plan what's going to happen, as well as, we all know life happens at times. But I think for her, when life happens and things don't go the way that she had planned them to go. I think with that Virgo rising, also with that Capricorn moon, she's able to assess the situation and think what's the most practical and logical that I've gotten myself into. Crying over things is not something I think she does often. It's more of how I can bounce back from this. Also, her Jupiter and Venus are conjunct her ascendant, which is great. But all that Virgo, you know, Virgo sort of sucks in a way where it's basically being critical. All that Virgo energy is great for a lot of things, but what it's bad for in the house of self is, you know, critical. I think wherever Virgo is in a chart, that's where you sort of point your finger. So with being in her first house, I think she can really be hard on herself. So that's what I have about her. And don't be so hard on yourself. Don't be so critical. So that's what I had to say about it.
I read on an astrology blog the other day that when you have Venus in the first house or Venus conjunct the ascendant, it makes people fall in love with you. I just thought that was a cool note.
Well, Penny, leave a comment. Let us know if that's true. So what else do you have?
I commented on the moon in Capricorn in the fifth house. I thought it was cool that the moon in Capricorn, which is known for being very serious, very dutiful, very emotionally grounded and calm, is in the fifth house, which is naturally the house of Leo, which is like a fun house. So you have the moon in Capricorn, which is all about work and dedication, but then it's in the fun house. So it's like the moon has this good balance between work and play. And in our world, everybody seems to either work too much or play too much. So I would think that Penny has a good work play balance.
That's good. I like that interpretation. The next thing that stood out to me on her chart was she has Mars on her MC. Now, this is a good thing, but also can present some challenges. In one sense, it makes her, extremely ambitious, self-willed. She could do great at running her own business or being a manager. Also, she's willing to fight and to put in work to get to the top. She's not about taking shortcuts. It makes her feel good when she reaches a milestone and she knows she's put in work. The challenging side can be, it can make her do things. It can make her want to do things her own way. And of course, when you're working under people, that just does not work. Conflict, arises. Also, with Mars, I feel like Mars, whichever house Mars is in, that's where we naturally can express ourselves, be confident in that area. So when it comes to working with other people, I guess it can be like intimidated by her because when she shows up on the work field, she has no problem asserting herself. She has no problem taking the lead and taking charge because it's in her 10th house. It's in the area of career and work. So, that can draw jealousy. But at the end of the day, it's very positive to have Mars on your MC because you just charge straight ahead for your goals for any career field that you want to take on. Josie, what do you have next?
So Mercury is in retrograde in the birth chart, and that's kind of a rare thing. You don't meet a lot of people who have Mercury in retrograde in the birth chart. That's interesting because people born with that in retrograde natally are born more in contact with the right side of the brain naturally. Because like what happens when transiting Mercury is in retrograde is everybody starts to think with the right side of the brain, which is the artistic, emotional side, instead of the left side, which is the logical side. And then that's why communication and transportation and timing and everything gets off because everybody starts thinking in the creative artistic side. But Penny was born thinking that way, so that makes her a very out of the box thinker.
Now, as far as aspects, I wanted to touch on in her chart, something we both have in common, and I say it's my favorite aspect in my chart is Mars trine Saturn. This is my saving grace, and I'm sure it's hers also. But because our Mars is in Gemini and the energy is, kind of all over the place, Saturn really allows us to direct and focus and concentrate that energy where we want it to be because trines can make you lazy. But when we really want to, we can kick ass with no problem. Also, this trine gives a strong sense of purpose. I'm sure more with Penny because she has Mars in her 10th house and Saturn in the 6th. Both are money houses. Both deal with putting in work to get something out of it. So with all that, I'm sure, she won't stop until she reaches whatever goal she wants to. Or when she really finally decides to go after something, she can definitely run like a well-oiled machine. She really puts her mind to doing something. An easy exertion of her will, basically. Just don't be lazy. I know sometimes I'm like, you know what, I can do that if I want to do it, but I'm feeling pretty damn lazy right now. But then I get up and then I do it and then I rock it. So what about you?
Is in the 6th house, and that's always known as being like some sort of restriction on the health. Everybody I've ever met who has Saturn in the 6th house usually has some sort of like chronic illness or some physical ailment they can never fully get over, which is sad. I'm sorry.
Oh God, I had something to say about her Mars square her ascendant. I guess that would be learning to assert yourself in the right moments when you need to be. I know Josie commented and said that, it can make someone seem like really mean or just like bitchy all the time. Didn't you say that?
Oh yeah, I have this natally too. I mean, it's not as tight of a square as she has, but it can make you seem like a bully, even if you're really not. Like, even if I don't have bad intentions, I feel like people think I'm mean, even though I'm not. I guess I just have permanent resting bitch face.
This is perfect. Just perfect. Now, I wrote something really interesting and really long about my thoughts on her Leo Sun in the 12th house. So I'm going to let you go before I get on this long rant. Do you have anything else you wanted to add to this?
Nope. Go ahead.
Oh God, here we go. Dun, 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 dun. I think with her Leo sun in the 12th house, it's very powerful. For one, the 12th house is known as many things, and one of my favorite sayings is that it's the house of your hidden talents. Also, it's the house of the subconscious mind. Now, the subconscious mind is where everything starts. Thoughts, feelings, everything that exists, every emotion, every habit starts in the subconscious. So I think Sun in the 12th house is a very powerful place for manifestation. Also, I like the saying as above and so below. So everything that happens in the spiritual, esoteric world will happen here on earth. So with her Sun in the 12th house, taps her into that otherworldly power to create. That's why, Sun in the 12th house people really do need to watch what they say or think because they can really manifest really quickly. I'm sure, things that they say and things that they feel, or, they can really manifest those thoughts and actions. So I feel like they really have to watch what they say and what they think. I'm sure she's, said to herself many times, oh, I know that was going to happen, or I felt that that was going to take place. Also, because the 12th house is like the house of the other world, and the sun is your ego and who you are. I know that there's a saying that says sun in the 12th house people don't really do well in life or are not suited for it. Well, when who you are, your ego, you know, when it's in another world, of course you're not going to do well in this materialistic, facade of a world that we live in. And in the 12th house, people, they experience things far beyond the five senses. Their understanding goes way beyond scratch the surface level bullshit reality or what we consider reality. And they try to, continuously kill themselves to fit into this world that we live in when they're really not equipped to live in it. I feel like they really need to create their own world and sort of coexist between the two, if you know what I mean. Like, make their own reality, but not a delusional one. Just make a life that's suited for them and stop trying to force themselves to be a part of our world or our life. Also, I think any planet in the 12th house can sort of represent the planet in its purest form. Because, like I said, the 12th house is the house of the subconscious. Then it's the beginning, it's the start, it's raw. So planets there, like they say, Venus, which he has, is sucks in the 12th house. Well, people with their Venus in the 12th house, gives love unconditionally. It's endless. I'm sure you can relate to this, Joseph, because your Venus is in Pisces. These people believe in love in its truest form. Venus in the 12th house is not, oh, you did something bad to me and now I don't love you anymore. No, it's even though you've done so much horrible things to me, I still have something to feel to you. Because that's what love truly is. That's what love really is. It's unconditional. It's not, love doesn't have phases where I love you, I don't love you. Love is continuous and endless. But yeah, just like her son being there, I feel like she has the opportunity to really define who she is for herself, and from that space, from building her own confidence, because her son receives a conjunction from Chiron, and all three of the challenging aspects she receives in a conjunct, a square, and an opposition. So I think once she learned all those lessons about developing her ego and defining her for herself and loving her for herself, she's going to be able to basically teach that to other people. She's going to be able to be a mirror for others on how to be the best version of yourself. So that's what I have. That was pretty damn long, wasn't it?
It was good though. It made sense. So the sun got screwed over even more because it's tightly in opposition to Saturn, as if the sun isn't restricted enough in the 12th house. Anything that makes a hard aspect to Saturn is like permanently feels like it can't fully express itself. And I would imagine this is even harder for a Leo sun because Leo is the one sun sign that like really, really need self-expression. And being in the 12th house and opposite Saturn, like the self-expression just does not come easy. It's going to be a lifelong task to try to feel like you can express yourself fully. And then it forms a really tight square with Pluto. I think the orb is only like 1 degree. And I had never researched this before, so I Googled Sun Square Pluto, and I found that a lot of very mysterious people had Sun Square Pluto, including Barbara Streisand, Elvis, Leo DiCaprio, and a lot of people who have a mysterious thing to them that nobody really knows a lot about. There's something called the Barbara Streisand effect, named after, obviously, Barbara Streisand, who is Sun Square Pluto. And that effect is when somebody just kind of like disappears from the media. They just kind of disappear out of this internet TV reality we live in. And that's kind of like a Sun Square Pluto thing. They kind of pop in and out of reality and live a very mysterious life. So I thought that was cool. Now go ahead with the node.
I got a quote from my nodal expert, Walter, and he writes, she knows how to dedicate herself to her career matters and to use her knowledge and communication, but this hasn't given her the depth in worldly affairs. It appears she wants to have her home with the world, and she can communicate and share her wisdom with many as she builds her home and family. Because it's in the 29th degree, she will go through extremes in search for her own higher truth and how that reflects with her idea of home and family. She has her north node in Sagittarius in the 4th house and her south node in Gemini in the 10th house. So I believe that's our video. Do you have anything else you want to add?
She has Lilith and Aquarius just like you. That means y'all are freaking the sheets.
You just had to add that in.
Yeah.
All right. We're not going to go into that conversation. But yeah, thank you, Penny, for allowing us to do this. Again, Josie, thank you for joining me. It's been a ride, this video, hasn't it?
Yes, it has.
And Penny, thank you for your great contribution to the astrological community, your great body of work. Thank you for being so informational and insightful and inspiring me, and I'm sure many others. So thank you. And thank you everyone for watching. You want to say bye, Josie?
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Thank you for watching.